Wednesday Warriors, welcome to another episode of the Weekly Wednesday Warrior, sponsored by POW Card Games and Comics in bright and shiny Port Ewan, New York. My name is Skylar Hathaway.
I'm Chris Potter. Talking about Nightwing 104 from Tom Taylor, Travis Moore.
We got a full slated Weekly Wednesday Warrior for you. Last week we had 5. You won't believe what we got this week. This week we got 1. We have one. We have 1. It's Nightwing. That's it. Just Nightwing.
Both at the same cover.
The same cover.
Bruno Redondo. Super Hot Fire cover.
Who is not doing the interiors, but I'd be surprised. I don't love Redondo's stuff. I don't know if I've ever put this out there. I appreciate him as a person who draws interior comics.
Yeah.
He is no cover guy.
No, this is... So, I don't know if you know this. This is like a meme image he's doing. This is like...
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's basically tracing like a popular internet video still.
Oh, okay. That makes me like this cover even less, to be honest with you.
No, I thought this was corny.
But it's fun, I suppose. Speaking in regards to Travis Moore, I don't know that I like him more than Bruno Redondo. They look almost the same.
They're very similar. One doesn't use screen tone.
And I'd almost blame some of this on Adriano Lucas, who's the colorist on the book. Mm-hmm. But I've seen Adriano Lucas on other stuff.
And they're pretty good.
Like Detective Comics.
Oh, it's the same colors?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where,
but you have to allocate time.
Detective has a couple different colors, because they have a couple different pencils.
Yeah.
So he is one of those colorists. These, I don't know what it is. I think it's, Bruno Redondo and Travis Moore have really blocky art styles. They have really, really big things. They let the human anatomy take up so much of a panel shot that there is next to no room to draw anything else in the background. But that might save them time, might make it easier for them to pump out the comics.
And again, this is a very character-focused book.
And most Tom Taylor stuff is.
Yeah.
So these are artists that
There's not big concepts going on here, not a lot of world building. In his ongoing books. I would say in his miniseries, he does a lot of that. Here, it's just focused on Nightwing and his friends.
Yeah. And like building the world that is Nightwing, we could say. Yeah. Because there has been a lot added to this character through this run in regards to like relationships and characters and things that have not been included in Nightwing up to this point.
Yeah. Linda Zuko or whatever.
We got a whole sister. Blockbuster seems more important. I'm really waiting on him to bring Raptor in. I would be super surprised if Raptor never makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Just like a subtle appearance, even. I feel like that's one of Nightwing's bigger enemies as of recent. But in any case, summary of this book was not as simple as it usually is, but it was relatively simple, right?
Yeah.
It was, they start off... You handle the summary. I'm bad at this. I'll chime in.
Nightwing is given superpowers for 2 hours by Neron the Demon.
Picks up right after the last, like panel and then opening panel of this book.
He's attempting to tempt Dick into giving up Olivia, Blockbuster's daughter's soul. And
so he goes and Nightwing uses these powers. I guess he's got 2 hours. I don't remember Neron saying that ever. Not in the last issue, not in this issue.
I think he says it in this one.
But Dick gets 2 hours, and he goes and runs around. He does these 2 hours doing things that he wouldn't be able to do as normal Nightwing. Most of those things include saving people.
Yeah.
Right? So he goes and hangs out with Flash for a little while.
First he goes to Themyscira, because they're all under attack from a gang of villains, Gorilla Grodd, the Grinning Man, and Dr. Polaris.
Right.
Nightwing gets Gorilla Grodd out of there, so they're no longer under psychic duress, so the rest of them can just easily handle.
And the commentary, too, while he's doing that, is that he can move faster than Gorilla Grodd can think.
Yeah.
And so he's over there pretty quick to stop that from happening. By the time he's taken Gorilla Grodd out of commission, the rest of the Titans, like Chris said, had already taken care of Dr. Polaris and the Grinning Man.
Yeah.
And then he leaves the Themyscira right after that, because the Titans have everything else under control or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a great line. I need to talk about this line.
All right.
There's a great line. I'm going to pull up the page where he shows up. The battle's over, and they're like, Nightwing? And he goes, yes, it's me. I fly now. Which is a homage joke to a couple issues ago when Nightwing was being impersonated by the Grinning Man. the Grinning Man had flown into the air and was intercepted by the Titans, and he's like, yes, I'm Nightwing, I fly now. And the Titans didn't swallow that pill and punched the Grinning Man. In this case, even Donna had to ask Raven, is this actually Nightwing? And Raven's like, yeah, it's Nightwing this
I thought that was a Star Wars joke, because they do that in 9, when the Stormtroopers...
They fly now?
They fly
now?
Yeah.
No, it's a reference to the other book, to the other book.
Gotcha.
It's a slightly different line, too, if you think about it. So
Yeah.
The other line I wanted to mention is they start talking about... He goes to see Superman. We'll get to this in order. But he goes to see Superman. And Superman's like, being the leader of basically the new Justice League, what is now the Titans, you're going to have a lot of flack from some pretty powerful people via money or via actual power. Yeah. Are you ready to handle that? You're going to get people that are just going to be up against you. And Dick says, I'm a pretty likable guy.
Yeah. Very down-to-earth response.
He's really not worried about these kinds of things. I think Dick Grayson is ready to put the right people in their places.
Yeah.
That's really what that shows. But anyway, yeah, where Chris was going with this summary, after Themyscira, he goes to do things he can't do. So he goes to meet up with Wally, and they go and save the world 6 times over or something like that.
Yeah, I think they fix a dam. It's
Fix
a
a
major
dam.
thing they mentioned. Oh, it's an illegal water capture in Bangkok. I wrote a pretty detailed summary.
I want to say that they do a couple things too, though, in the panels after that. And then he does a couple things though before he even goes to Superman, right?
There's a cutaway to Neron in the middle. He meets up with Wally. That's the only thing Dick does. But we see that Neron is getting pressure from Trigon, who also is like, "Hey, you're making demons look weak. Your realm is vulnerable. You need to do something about this girl." Right. So Neron decided to stop the subtle approach. Dick saw his powers, but he's sending everything after Olivia to Themyscira.
He is literally taking hell and invading Earth, specifically Themyscira, to capture the girl. Hordes, the Hell Hordes, is what he calls them. And the Trigon appearance is serendipitous. I knew this was coming, but I didn't think it was coming like this, right? I had made a call like 2 issues ago that Trigon's going to show up because of that line that Raven says, I don't want my dad to know we're in here. Trigon shows up, but he doesn't really say anything about his daughter, that he even knew his daughter was in hell. Yeah. So Raven does a good job, and then not only that, but that foreshadowing of Trigon even being mentioned issues ago still managed to happen in this book. And Trigon's inclusion, although serendipitous at the moment, is going to come to fruition later. Yeah. This is going to go somewhere. This is not the last we're seeing of Trigon.
And talking about the scene of Trigon, the comedy in this book is really good. I like the 2 lines when Trigon shows up. There's this great face from Neron when he's like rolling his eyes, and he says, "Oh great, it's this guy." Yeah. And then he makes fun of Trigon for always showing up as a giant when they're demons. They can change their appearances. He can look like a normal dude if he wanted. Yeah, and
Trigon makes a note about what Neron actually looks like, and it's not a small little pompous dude. Yeah. We find out more about that later as the comic continues. But back to Dick, who is now going to hang out with Superman. Yeah. And Superman takes him to space, shows Dick the Earth, and what is going to be his, and what he has to take care of, and stuff like that. And
there's a couple really good lines from Tom Taylor there about Dick. Where he's like, I've seen space before, but something about experiencing it this way, it just makes you realize how beautiful the Earth is. And then Travis Moore is doing a pretty good job. There's this great full page of Superman and Nightwing, Superwing they're calling him at this point. Yeah. Looking at this blue Earth, it's really beautiful. Very idyllic. That was something I noted near the middle of this book, and Tom Taylor's writing as a whole. He writes very idyllic superheroes. Yeah. They're very much paragons throughout his work. They don't have struggles the same way George Perez would write these characters, which is something I had to realize, especially with Titans. He's not going to do this the same way. He likes writing these people as nearly perfect, I think. Yeah. They're very idyllic. Yeah. That's part of what I got from this.
They all have their issues, though. Tom Taylor knows that.
Yeah, but they always do the right thing in the end. That's Tom Taylor book.
That's for sure.
There are times when Nightwing has been morally compromised in the Titans, done some sort of rude things, mostly in his relationships. Yeah. He's not great with those throughout history.
You should read the Tom Taylor John Constantine book.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying he's never writing. I'm saying superheroes. When he's writing these characters, he tries It's something I've noticed even with John Kent when he's writing anyone who's not in the mud, you know.
You wouldn't say that that's not inherent with their characters to begin with, as
I would. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm noting that he
shine.
really leans into that and doesn't stray from that. Because there are other writers who do.
Keeps it consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree then. So he leaves Superman to go and help the Titans again because the Titans are being attacked on Themyscira by these hell hordes. And he does so, and he goes after Neron.
He saves Olivia real quick.
He grabs
just
Olivia.
gets her out of there.
He's trying to fly Olivia out of there. He loses his powers in the process, runs into Neron, who I think snaps his powers away, actually.
Yeah.
And he's
trying to tempt Dick.
Yeah, how do I explain this properly? It's not working, and Nightwing has run out of patience for Neron at this point. He keeps on trying to steal this girl's soul. There's no solve. So Dick pulls out the one thing that he's got from issues ago. He's got a secret password, code word, phrase that will give his stick some level of magical ability.
Yeah.
So he uses it. The code word is Nightwing is awesome. He says it underneath his breath. We get a couple cool panels of why is this girl's name escaping me right
I think it's Olivia.
Olivia is for sure what it is. She goes, yes, awesome! And then he magically electrocutes the heck out of Neron. So hard, Neron reveals his true form. Pull the page up over here. He's a giant, weird, squid brain-looking thing.
Yeah, very Doctor Strange cosmic.
Looks horrifying and mystifying at all the same time.
Yeah.
Neron is out of power, so he zaps himself back to hell pretty quickly. Problem solved. Nightwing and Olivia get caught up by the Titans who have taken care of the Hell Hordes, who are also heading back to Hell.
Right.
And they meet back on Themyscira. Nightwing has to go.
Olivia's going to live there.
Sorry, Olivia is going to live there and train with the Amazons, which in the last issue, me and Chris were under the impression that she was being protected by the Amazons. As I reread the last issue, that was not the case.
Okay.
They made it apparent that she could protect herself because she's got her dad's powers, but they wanted to teach her how to fight. So they brought Batgirl, got the brain sense and fight. Donna Troy, who's just got the fight sense, and Starfire, who can fight in the sky.
Yeah.
So they had like all the bases covered. That's why this.
And they induct her as an honorary Titan. You know, when she's older, she'll join them, and she picks a superhero name, Nightbuster.
Nightbuster.
It's a mix of Nightwing's name and Blockbuster, mostly to spite Blockbuster more than really appreciate him.
Yeah.
Pay homage to him.
I like the way that storyline goes. I like that Olivia is going to become an Amazon, can pop up back later, years from now, as an important Amazon figure or something like that. I think this was really good character for her. Do you remember what Dick goes to do after that? Or the Titans just leave together, right?
I don't
think the Titans leave together.
They don't. Even if they don't leave, the issue ends with them on Themyscira, and then we cut to Raven.
Well, they leave because the last line that gets reported from Olivia is, "Goodbye, impressive but dangerous sorceress." So she says goodbye to Raven, and then it ends on Yes, it cuts to Raven after they've left Themyscira, and Raven is back in hell threatening Neron, and she tells him that. Oh, she does better than threaten him.
Yeah, she tells him hell isn't his anymore.
Which I don't know that it ever was. I don't know Neron.
His realm is no longer his.
But no, that's what she says, though. You're right.
Yeah.
She says hell. But I don't know that Neron is the king of hell. I would have thought that Trigon would be the king of hell or something.
Yeah.
Neron got menaced a couple issues ago by another queen of hell. Another big person, devil person on the bracket there. And Raven lets that person in charge. And says that you're going to owe me something big in the future. You know, I don't really care who's the king here, what happens here. I just want to make sure that Neron is taken care of, so that Olivia doesn't have to live with a demon breathing down her neck for the rest of her life.
Right. And Blaze tells Raven that there's a part of her missing. She notices something's wrong.
Part of Raven is missing.
Yeah.
And that's what we really end on. And then there's the backup.
Yeah.
It was awful. There's a line in there. It's not even Silver Age cheesy. It's just cheesy. You're too late, Nightwing. This story is written. Oh no, that's not the line. That's me complaining after that. I said that the story is written corny. This last particular installment of the backup, it felt like a teenage sitcom kind of lesson. Like John
Yeah.
Kent really walks away smarter from this, even though he couldn't tell that, like, the dude at the carnival was, like, terrified of his ability to enlarge the stick. He's like, why did I get all the bears? He made John Kent seem like an idiot.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of this backup, and it goes nowhere, too. Like, who
Yeah,
was-
we've been speculating this whole time, like, who planted the bomb? This all
planted the
seemed
bomb?
coincidental. It is just coincidental.
It's a nobody. It's some
It's
guy
someone who works at the carnival.
who used to work at the carnival that hates everybody there and wants to kill them all. And
So this was entirely pointless.
he gets
unfortunately.
wrapped up. It was there to produce like further character development for John Kent and the relationship between him and Dick,
Yeah.
but it's just not there. It's just we didn't get anything out of it. It's still a waste of time. Even the art I thought was lacking in this last portion, where I liked all the art up to this point.
I don't think he's given much to draw though. So to their credit.
Yeah, I really hope this is the end of the backups. I hope 105 is $5 still because it's an extra big issue or something like that. I don't want to read any more of these backups.
Or at least Tom Taylor writes the backups.
Yeah, that'd be fine. So I got two questions here. Well, first of all, this was the finale of the Rise of the Underworld storyline.
Yeah.
So we get to go back to probably some pretty typical Nightwing stuff in the next issue. My two questions: why would a person buy this comic? And the answer that I figured out is because it's funny. It's a good ongoing story. Every issue connects to the other issue seamlessly. It reads really well. The readability is good. The characters are interesting. The story's engaging. There's just a lot of good in this comic. If you're looking for a comic to buy to read ongoing wise, you won't be let down as long as you're looking for an ongoing comic. This is the definition of an ongoing comic. These stories end, but there is always something more to do with the character that is Nightwing, and it's seamless.
And the world he plays in. Like, we're really setting up Bloodhaven as, like, a place that we know what's happening. We know the politics of Bloodhaven, and we know the players in Bloodhaven.
Yeah.
So all these things are mounting on one another. I keep bringing up 99. There's this vault that Dick has a case in.
Yeah.
That's a big plot point. That was one issue. And, again, Skylar might say this is very much an ongoing in the way that everything builds, but it's very readable month to month.
Yeah.
It's always enjoyable issue to issue. You're not waiting for this story to be done. Like, do I get this? Was this worth it?
Yeah.
Every issue is satisfying in the moment.
And everything works. It makes good on its intentions. I'm sure that issue 99 little Easter egg will pop up back again eventually. This book was really good. This particular issue, specifically outside of the backup, was probably a 9 out of 10 on comic form. We don't even have another comic to do. I got an honorable mention over here for Batman Brave and the Bold from a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we just had too many books, and there's like 4 stories in there to cover. Not all of them are equally weighted.
No, not at all. But the Tom King story in this is really, really, really worth a read.
Dan Mormon's good too.
This page
That's my guy.
exclusively. But that about wraps us up. You got anything to add there, Chris?
No, I'm going.
Pay attention to our next video, the Weekly Wednesday Warrior. Pay attention to our Shonen Jump coverage, the 25th anniversary stuff. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, follow, and like our